everybody doing?
Good morning. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you all very much.
Can we talk about these cameras for a moment?
Absolutely.
The Inspector General's report is surprise to you, and is it reflective on the attitude of the department over whether they should be shown to stations or they got their comfort level with photography?
Well, this Inspector General's report was not a surprise to us. We have asked for budgetary assessments for the last couple of years to improve our cameras in the stations. We have a system, but it is outdated and in disrepair. The city's budget crisis has precluded us from being able to fix it to the extent that we would like. We welcome the Inspector General's report because I think that gets us back on track. As the budget improves, which it is doing, we hope to be able to improve those systems. There are some other things that we can do currently, though, with the systems that we have. So we'll be able to take an assessment of all 21 facilities, and including this one, and see what we can do with what we currently have. And if there is some way to put a small amount of money into fixing the system, and I can do that through different non-budgetary functions like my police foundation. So it's a good report, something that we've known about. Folks have to remember, we have just are beginning to exit the greatest recession in our lifetimes. And there's a cost to that. It's cost our officers in their pay schedules, it's cost our officers in non-budgetary overtime, and it's cost us in our facilities. And so as we emerge from that, we have a lot of work to do.
A follow-up to that real quick, though, is that critics in the public would say, listen, cameras not focused in the right area in the station, this is reflective of a department that doesn't want to be photographed while it's doing its work.
Well, there are a few of those, but certainly that is not the majority. And those that are, we will get fixed, and we will make adjustment to. I think that folks need to remember there are a lot of people that take care of police stations. It isn't the police officers that do the maintenance. It's other city departments, and so we have some things that we need to work on. It's not all budgetary, like I said, and some of it needs to be is a matter of focus. No pun intended.
So can you talk a little bit about what more specifically what those things are that are non-budgetary that you can deal with right now?
Well, we can deal with some issues regarding training so that our folks know how to use the systems. We have I wouldn't call it a transitory population, but our stations rotate constantly. So you need to have people that are familiar with the systems, know how to use them, know how to retrieve data, know the capabilities of the systems that we actually have. We need to work with the city on getting some of our retention pieces straightened out. The city has a very onerous retention policy that we are trying to address. That will save some budget issues. So a lot of it's about training. A lot of it's about what small amounts of upkeep can we do that will improve the systems that we have, and then a lot of it is big budget items.
Chief, it's been pointed out that in the shooting of Ezel Ford, neither of the officers was wearing a body cam. There was not a working camera in their car, both of which would have been tremendously helpful in just getting to what actually happened. How soon can we expect to see those kind of things remedy these problems where people they don't have the pictures? How soon can we get the pictures on the cop's body and in the car?
Well, all of you are very familiar with this process, and again, this is a budgetary issue. We have just begun to do the installations in Central Bureau, which would have covered the Ford shooting. That would have covered New Year's. That's been delayed by the budget. We've requested every year, and sometimes the money's been moved, and sometimes it's been unavailable. So we're well on our way to getting about half of the city covered with in-car video. Now, in-car video doesn't always capture the totality of circumstances, so we want to also bring to bear on-body cameras. And you're also familiar with the on-body cameras. We're in our beta phase. We're trying to select a system. We have enough funding to buy several hundreds of systems so that we'll be able to deploy them. And then people can be more comfortable that contacts with police will be captured on video. But we're still a long way off from having 100% coverage all over the city. But the city is working that way. There is nobody, including me, that believes that is not the goal. It's just a matter of, this is a big city. We're talking multi-millions of dollars here to make this, to accomplish this. And so we're working our way, and we will get there. But, does it go as fast as I would like? No. But just like the cameras in the stations, we have to be realistic about the city's budget. we gotta be realistic about the money that we have. You know, we have a number of holes in our budget. You know, just this last week, we were able to raise the standard of pay for our new officers so that we can attract and retain the kind of individuals that everybody wants policing this city. So, you know, I mean, there are a number of budgetary issues that the city's had to suffer, and we are working our way through.
Okay,
What can you
Chief's
tell us
gotta
about
get
the
upstairs.
status of the Ford investigation at this point?
Ford investigation is ongoing. You know, it will be completed in an accelerated manner. We're still looking for witnesses. I encourage anybody, any member of the public that has direct information about witnesses to the Ford shooting to come forward. You know, we are actively in the investigation. You know, we're doing our forensic pieces as well as our the human part of it, the interview piece. So we're moving forward. You know, I think that people have to recognize that the Los Angeles Police Department has a very structured system that has multiple levels of review, and and this shooting, like all our shootings, will go through those levels of review. Those levels of review include the Inspector General, they include the Police Commission, they include the District Attorney's Office, and they include me. And we will do that in this case like we do all others. And you know, of course, I am very concerned about this issue, as is the media, as is the public, as is the entire Los Angeles Police Department, and we want to get to the truth of the matter as best we are able. So I ask the public, if you have information, please come forward. You know, we are actively seeking more investigative paths on this instance.
Are you having trouble stirring up witnesses or instances?
Well, you know, Frank, it's very difficult to say because, you know, it's a finite pool of folks and we don't know how many of them we captured. You know, we certainly don't have as many as we would like, and we're actively seeking to get whatever we can.
Why is the autopsy on hold? Why not being released at this point? Is that
Because we're actively seeking witnesses and we don't want to taint that witness pool. You know, that witness pool is very shallow at this point, and we want to make sure that we can get folks and that we can get their unvarnished statements before we release it.
Thanks,
Thank
you
you all
guys. He's
very
got to
much.
run upstairs to another meeting.
For
Thank you, guys.
for clarity, this one issue, back to the cameras. So it's budget and maintenance. It's not the commitment of the rank and file to be photographed or to do their job. Because remember, we had the antenna issue.
Well, you know, there are always going to be issues. Not just like in any workplace, not everybody wants to be on camera. But that is not the position of the Los Angeles Police Department, nor is it the position of the majority of the rank and file. You know, do we have issues that we have to deal with? Of course, any large organization does. But you know, my union, my command staff, my police commission, and this chief support the use of cameras. We think it makes a better police department, and we're going to push forward at all levels, not only in the stations, not only in the cars, but on body. And you know, it takes a while to get there, especially in bad budget times. You know, do I wish that I had a blank checkbook on this? Well, of course. But we have to be realistic. And it's a big place, thousands of cars, scores of stations, and a lot to cover. So thank you all.
Thanks, you guys. If anybody needs a Spanish speaker, Liliana's happy to help out. And also a Hawaiian speaker. If anybody needs any Hawaiian, Bruce Hall.
How are you?
Russian? Russian, I can have Russian.